welcome to Sky News. Thank you for being with us today on the 7th of June. It's time for the morning news. I am Sofia Leon Correa and now begins the news of the world and the Colombia. Our reporters here and around the world are ready to fill you on. We say hi to our colleague Ana Quintana, who is work from home and who is going to tell us the notice about the economy of Colombia. Ana, go ahead.
The situation in Colombia's international economy having a difficult time. The forecasts for employment, poverty and growth are disappointing. It will be necessary to increase the debt and seek greater austerity. But despite the government's effort, Colombia is going to be a little poor. Never in history have forecasts about the economy changed so much, so quickly and so badly. When the pandemic hit, multilaterals and analysts anticipated a large and transitory downturn in the world economy, but with the prospect of a relatively rapid recovery by 2021, what economists call a V-shaped recovery. Today, almost everyone talks about the worst depression since the Great War crisis of 1921 and a slower recovery in the shape of a U. The social consequences of the change of letters are unpredictable. The President of the Federal Reserve of the United States, Jerome Powell, has already warned that this looks like an unprecedented recession in the history of his country. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, believes that the pandemic will aggravate the financial vulnerabilities accumulated by years, and ECLAC warned that in 2020, unemployment in Latin America will skyrocket to at 15.5 million more employed. In Colombia, the forecasts were no less dramatic. The University of the Andes said that the poverty could rise at least 15 points, with a 20-year decline in economy and social development. Bancolombia, reviewing its projection, warned that the economy will fall this year to historical levels close to 6%. Even the finance minister, Alberto Carrasquilla, did not reject the harsh reality. Ana Sofia Quintana Guerrero reported for Sky News. Now we go with my partner, Oscar Hernandez.
Thank you so much, Ana. And now I'm going to talk about the worldwide news. The death of an African-American citizen from Minneapolis, Minnesota, was killed due to police brutality. His name was George Floyd. He was a 47-year-old man who was killed since a Caucasian police officer pinned him down and suffocated him. One of the last words he said was, "I can't breathe." And this sentence has made a big importance in the protests and riots that have been done in Minnesota. His death caused riots and protests since the moving Black Lives Matter started beginning again. People have been doing this protest now for I think 3 days. People have been burning places, have been breaking into supermarkets and burning fast food places. For the next news, I'm going to talk about the marriage equality in the first Central American country, which is Costa Rica. This was said in the last week since now the president allowed people to be married from the same gender, which is a huge pass for humankind and to help many people find their equality. Thank you so much. And now Juan Miguel will talk about technology.
Today, history has been made for the first time in the world. A private company has sent people into space. In the Falcon 9 rocket of the aeronautical company SpaceX that took off on an island on the east coast of Florida, in the same place where it took off Apollo 11, in which the United States took the man to the moon. This island was chosen due to its geographical location. The rocket took off well and orbit in 10 minutes, and it expected to reach the International Space Station in 19 hours. Doug Hurley and Paul Becken are the two astronauts who go on board this rocket and arrive in the area in a Tesla boarding the Crew Dragon. capsule named in honor of the Millennium Falcon. This takeoff was scheduled for last Wednesday, but due to bad weather and was postponed to Saturday. If this mission is successful, a new chapter will be started in the space area, since the United States had given up 9 years ago to send up people to space, that to its prior such as that of its space shuttle Challenger, the tragedy of Columbia, and finally the Space Shuttle Atlantis. NASA had previously hired a private company to do what they couldn't, but the company failed its tests, and only SpaceX was able to make it possible. But all success is to a greater extent to Elon Musk. Okay, now we are going to listen to Sophia.
Thanks for staying tuned with us in this special segment about health and food. Again, about COVID-19, where we inform you about the fundamental food and habits to increase our immune system and our defense. Our recommendations are: first, consume more fruits and vegetables of a variety of color. Consume vitamin D. We can find that in eggs and mushrooms. Consume vitamin that is found in citrus or guayaba. Consume dark chocolate that contains antioxidants. Don't forget to do exercise for the mind and for the body, and sleep 6 or 8 hours daily. Consume supplements that contain zinc and selenium and magnesium. Remember, all of these habits help your body to remain in harmony. Don't forget to keep using your mask and gloves when required, and be sure to wash your hands. Maintain social distance. Let's go to our sport news with our colleague Nicole Murillo. Go ahead.
Welcome to the sport edition. We start with the national news. The major exclusive meet for the second time this week to define the championship to April, when the government authorized the resumptions of the language. However, after almost 4 hours, there were no conclusions. Last Thursday, the managers decided 3 championships options among which they must define on this Friday by vote, but Friday's meeting was marked by controversy and discussion about the presidential administration. Additionally, several of the most influential things in the language were missing: Millonarios, Nacional, América, Medellín, and Once Caldas. Millonarios President Enrique Camacho started in retreat. On the other hand, the state do not receive the protocol of the ministry to be able to advance the steps to follow in the face of the resumption the football. Thus, for the time being, a new method was not agreed, and urgent issues such as parliament system, venues, and protocols remain in suspense. Decision will be made by assembly, which must be cited. And in the world, the NBA Board of Governors is expected to hold a vote Thursday, in which ours could approve Commission's Adam Silver's recommendation on a format to restore the decision in Atlanta, Florida. The above, according to several sources. Closer negotiation, the same source indicate that there is strong support for a plan that would take 22 teams in July to what they have called the bubble Disney-wide World of Sport Complex, where all teams will be gathered. They add that the format is likely to include regular season and play in games to compete for tie-break place in the East and West Conference. The NBA needs a 3-quarter majority of the owners to approve playing return to activity, and most of the owners say they want to return to action. NBA has yet to endorse a reserve plan, and only one of 4 ideas put forward in Friday's meeting of the Board of Governors to bring 30 is no longer considered a legitimate consideration. The sources say no. Maria Fernanda will take to us about what is currently happening in the world of entertainment. Thank you.
Talking about the entertainment, the most important news are Lady Gaga has released her new album since her last album over 3 years ago. This album is called Chromatic, and she collaborated with Ariana Grande in the song Rain on Me and Blackpink with the song Sugar Candy. The album release has been going to be in April 10th, but due to the new virus, it has been postponed until now. JP Sachs and Julian Michael made a cover of his song If the World Was Ending, with a different artists like Niall Horan and Anne Marie, and Latin American like Camilo, Eva Luna, and Maui Ricky. And this video been able to raise funds to support the doctors that are helping with the virus. Now we'll go with my partner Miguel Primera.
Thanks, Mafe. Well, I'm Miguel Primera. I'm going to talk about the apps most popular and with the situation of COVID-19. Well, I'm going to talk about TikTok. TikTok is a social network from which we can create and share fun music video. TikTok can make users want to stay in the app, as well as entertain them in a fun way through viral challenge. The consequences are that brands are beginning to see more and more opportunities on these platforms to insert products or brands in a challenge format, collaborating with influencers or even establishing their own channels for people to follow. The influencers. Well, the influencer marketing will continue to grow in importance for brands, especially as they try to reach consumers more honestly and build relationships. Thank you, and we are going to back to the set with the tips on my partner Sofia.
Remember to frequently wash your hands, and we will see you from our 7 p.m. broadcast. With this report, I am saying goodbye. This is all for today. Don't forget to contact us with our social medias or using hashtag SkyNews. Have a great day.